Hey guys, just got my hands on the Asus S510U. Let's get straight to it. It comes in a gold brushed metal finish and it only weighs 1.7 kilograms and it's only 17.9 millimeters thick. So it definitely isn't the lightest or the thinnest ultrabook in the market, but it packs some serious performance which we'll get through later in the video. For thin and light, it definitely has a good amount of I/O. USB 3.0, HDMI, USB Type-C, a microphone headphone combo jack, two USB 2.0 and an SD card reader, which gets an extra thumbs up from me. There's a wide backlit keyboard with a short travel distance. It's pretty easy to get used to, however I felt that the keys were a little mushy to me. The trackpad is good and has an integrated fingerprint scanner which works seamlessly, however there are occasions where it didn't recognize my fingerprint straight away. Inside the laptop is an i7-8550U, which is one of Intel's latest mobile processors, and it is paired with an MX150 discrete graphics card. It also has 8GB of RAM expandable to 16GB, a 128GB M.2 SATA SSD, and a 1TB hard drive. The laptop did pretty well in Cinebench R15 with a single core score of 170 and a multi-core score of 618. In PC Mark 10, it scored 3,359, and in Unigen Heaven Benchmark 4.0 at high 1080p, it's got 704 with an average of 28 FPS. For games, Overwatch on Ultra settings reached an average of 60 frames per second, CSGO on high also averaged around 60 frames per second, and League of Legends on very high managed to consistently go over 100 FPS and averaging around 120 FPS. For Premiere Pro rendering a 54-second 4K video, the laptop completed it in 9 minutes and 11 seconds, while my desktop managed to render it just slightly under 7 minutes. And now, my complaints. The display is a 1080p LED panel, which isn't bad, however I noticed right out of the box that the screen is significantly towards the warmer side, and even tweaking it with the inbuilt software, they did not completely solve the problem. It is a 60Hz panel, so you get a decent enough gaming experience out of it. Another thing was the keyboard area is quite flexible and bends in quite a bit. Like every thin and light laptop, heat is always a problem, and the fans for this will start to ramp up sometimes even doing light tasks. And when under load, it just sounds like a jet engine. Also, the keyboard area does sometimes get a little warm, but it's definitely bearable. For an ultrabook, the performance is definitely amazing compared to the competition out there, and not to mention the price tag isn't as high as some of those in the market right now. To me, the display is definitely a deal breaker. However, if you're a student or a professional who just needs the portability and do not need such a color accurate screen, it's definitely worth taking a look at. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and feel free to leave a comment down below.